Welcome to B2B sales presentations that sell. Whether you're a business owner, consultant, or a B2B sales specialist, this is the place to be, the place to achieve success in building better relation with your clients, winning more clients, and leading a successful career and life. I am Prashant. I will be joined by Mr. Krishna. We are partners at Growth Aspect. We have 30 plus man years of experience in helping more than 20 plus different industries to improve their sales team effectiveness. We have also worked and coached and trained more than hundreds of business owners and sales professionals to improve their sales presentation skills so that they can effectively engage with their clients and increase their sales conversions. So this is the second of the 4-part video training series where we are giving you some of the tools and frameworks which you can apply in your own business or in sales to connect with your buyers better and increase your sales conversions by up to 3x. Now, in the last video, we shared some of the important content on what is exactly required today in your B2B sales to really connect with your buyer and increase sales. And we shared a framework on how do we build the trust, which is the most critical factor to really do any sales in today's B2B sales world. So if you have not watched that video, I would urge you to just please go ahead and watch that video. There is a link at the top of the page where you can just click and you can watch the video, and I will be waiting here only till you complete that video and come back. Now in this video, what we are going to do is cover a very important part of the B2B sales presentation, which is how do you connect to your buyer situations. When I say buyer situation, it is about their needs, goals and aspirations, so that it builds an instant trust in your buyer that you know him much better than anybody out there and he is ready to listen to your solution. Now, you are here watching this video maybe because you are starting into sales or business and you want that initial success, or you are already experienced in sales or business and you want to really increase your sales conversions by 2x or 3x. And if that is your objective, then this is the best place to be, because there are lots of clients and lots of buyers are out there who are looking for the genuine people who can connect to their problems and able to help them. And our objective is to give you those tools so that you can go out and connect to your buyers and help them buy. But there are two important trends we discussed even in the last video, but I just want to recap here is which is actually making the whole B2B sales landscape changing. One is about access to information. As you can see, today every buyer has at his fingertips all the information available. So when you meet a buyer, the question which keeps going on in your buyer is, what is that you are going to show me which I don't know? So that is the first thing you need to overcome. How do you get your buyer attention to listen to your solution? Second one is about the increasing level of competition. As we can see, and we keep hearing from so many sales leaders as well as business owners, that there is an increasing level of competition. Where used to be 2 or 3 competitors, today there are tens of competitors. So now when you are going to work with and you want to get business, how do you really handle this competition? How do you make your buyer feel that your solution can really stand out among all the competitors and you are the best one to serve? So for that, one of the topmost skill required today is how do you present your solution, the presentation skills. So in the first video, we covered very important topic of building a trust, which is very key, and we showed you a framework. And as a part of the first in that framework was relating to buyer situation. So in this video, we are going to deep dive and where we are going to give you really how do you relate to situation. So there is a lot of things we are going to cover in this video. So there is a template which you can download about buyer situation presentation template. So download that so that once we are going through the video and the learning, you can definitely apply some of the things directly and connect to that. So let's dive into the learning and we will see you. Okay, so let's take it from here. So what's actually an objective of sales presentation, as we discussed in the first video also? It is your ability to build trust with your prospects, especially a reluctant prospect, so that they want to do business with you. But as we said, building trust is not easy, especially if you simply present a solution or pitch your solution, that is not going to really build the trust. So there are two critical elements which can help you build trust and make clients do business with you. And the first one is making your clients feel that you understand his situation. Second one is, of course, showing that you, your product or company has the ability to solve the problem. And we also shared a framework how to do this. As you can see, building trust is the core important factor. But to do that, there are four key elements involved. And the first one is relating to your buyer situation, which helps him really understand that and builds that empathy. And secondly, you are presenting a solution which is exactly matching the needs. Third, you are promising the results, are showing that value which your buyer can immediately see that it's better than most of the competitors out there and it is going to help him solve his problem. And finally, all this you are going to do by connecting to their emotions and engaging them, and also using some of the story framework. So in this video, what we are going to learn is the most important, which is how to relate to the buyer situation, which is the step one. So we are going to cover why you must relate to your buyer situation and what are the things you need to do and also how you can do it. So there is a template we have given, so please go ahead and download, which you can use along with the training. And we are also going to show you a couple of case studies in our own this thing, how we relate to buyer situation as well as how we have helped some clients. So there is a lot of learning in this session. So I'm sure you are going to take away many things. Now, there is a very important saying which says that people will learn from you, listen to you, buy from you, hire you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. So, as you can see, prospects are going to buy from you only when you make them feel understood. So, this is very important. So, instead of trying to make what our product or service and everything, the first thing which can help your prospects to really build that trust is if you make them feel understood. That's why relating to buyer situation is very important. And also there are other important things which can help when you relate to buyer situation. The first one is to get your buyer's attention. As we said, today most buyers think that they already have done the research, they have all the information, so they are not ready to give that much attention to yours to really speak. So to get their attention, the best way to do is we must relate to their situation. And secondly, if you want to present a solution, it is always important to relate to the specific need. Instead, if you give a general presentation regardless of customer specific needs, what happens here is most of prospects will say or think like, okay, what you make sense, I agree, but our situation is different. So if at all in your own this thing, business or in sales, if you have seen that you had a great solution, your customer really listened, but he went ahead with a competitor who had a similar solution or even a not great solution, means one of the reason can be your competitor was able to relate to your buyer better than you. So that is why relating to buyer is very important. So how we are going to do this? So there is a simple three steps what we want to highlight. The first one is as you start your sales presentation and set the agenda, the first thing you must do is explain the present state what the customer is. It may be just a brief and how is usage pattern. Second is articulate the pains and challenges what your customer is facing. And third one is what is the solution they are looking. So these are the three things you must do in the first 5 to 10 minutes depending on the complexity of solution, so that you get commitment from your buyer that you understand the situation. So we have in the next few minutes we are going to cover, there is a template how you can do this. So let's dive in more. So this is a custom solution template where you are going to meet a buyer where you have done a prior meetings, you have understood the requirement and you have a custom solution which you want to present. So the first thing you must do in this case is, as we say, start with an introduction and agenda where you are going to let your prospects know that brief about your company and job description, and then tell your audience the purpose of your presentation, especially the benefits and impact you plan to have on them by giving three key points. What is that? So this is the way we are going to set the agenda for the whole presentation. And immediately after that, the first thing you must do is to brief about the prospect. So this is very important, where as you say, like if you have done a good research about your prospect, if you have done understood, you have know what their company is, what their customers are, so you can just give a brief about what you think about, what you know about the prospect. Second is current situation of the prospect. So this is very important again, where if whatever the solution your prospect is using, how are they using that solution? So better to describe here. For example, if you are prospecting for a sales CRM solution, you can define exactly what is that current situation, how the current sales team is handling the CRM part, how are they doing the business. So you can say everything about the current situation of your prospects. So, what's the advantage of doing this? As we said, when you share the buyer the present state, it instantly connects with your buyer that you know his business very well. And the second is, it also helps to build the confidence that you have done enough research and you are quite well informed. So this really establishes that you have done all the homework and you know your buyer very well. And now, once you do this, the next one is to transition to the problem and the solution part. So, here in this case, you can connect to the problem what your buyer is really facing, what is that you have understood during your own meetings with the buyer, or in case, what is that problem general most of the buyers like them are facing, what is that pain point. And it's always good to use the words what customer has used when he is expressing his problem. And then you also give a solution, what is that solution your customer is really seeking. So explain the future state. What is that once this problem is resolved? What is that future state customer is going to experience? So give a solution what that they are really seeking. Again, try to emphasize what words customer has used, which you have done. Now, doing this helps your customer to build empathy. So, as we said, articulating current pains and challenges. How does it help? First one, it helps your prospect take action when there is pain and urgency. So, until you emphasize what is that pain customer is facing, they are not going to really take an action. So, it is good to emphasize the pain point what customer is facing. And second is when you really highlight that current pain or the challenge your potential customer is facing, you are going to build an empathy, which is very important. So empathy is nothing but you're going to make customer that feel that you really care, you understand them. And so this is a very important. Now once you connect to problems, you should not leave there. You should also give an idea of what is the results of the future state your customer is going to experience once they resolve that problem. So what happens when you do this is your buyer will immediately switch and he starts seeing the solution. So and also he also feels that you are aligned to the needs and aspiration of customer. You are not giving some solution which is random. You are really aligned to what he wants. And then also it helps buyer that you are really working towards his goals, which is the most important thing. So these two are very important. Now in the next this one there is another possibility you can add is you can share a trend or insight to highlight the problem. So if you have a solution which your customer is not facing or many others are really have solved it, this is a place to be where you highlight a trend or an insight. So what is the advantage of sharing and highlight trends or a reference story is because once you do that, again it establishes that what you are saying is relevant to your customer. Second is it also helps you to build the authority that you know the business, you know the industry, and it is not that your customer is alone trying your solution. And then it helps your customers to really listen to you. So this is where your insights selling template you can use, and then you also can explain if there are any customers who have actually similar companies they have addressed this solution. This is where you can reference story of how a competitor of theirs or a industry leaders are addressing the problems using your solution or a solution similar to you. So these are the four slides, especially like connecting to your buyer situation, problem statements and the solution, sharing some insights, and sharing a reference story establishes completely that you know your buyers extremely well. You have understood your buyer extremely well. Now, at this stage, what you must do is ask for confirmation to present the solution. So at this stage, it's simple question like, so now that before I share how I can address with our solution, I would like to know if I'm able to relate to your situation, or would you like to add anything? A simple question like this will really open up your customer that you have you are presenting something which your customer is really looking for. So what is the advantage? Because this is the most important, which is gaining commitment that your understanding matches your customers. So what is the advantage of this? So when you do this, you are creating a stage to present solution. And if your understanding has any missing part, most buyers are going to correct you. So which is the most important part. And the third one is again by asking that you are ready to present solution. So you are going to really make your customer that feel that yes, you have built up that curiosity, you have built up that tension that there is something you are offering. So this is the time you should start presenting your solution. So this is the template what we wanted to when it comes to relating to buyer situation. So we are going to give a couple of case studies where we have done a similar presentation format and how it has helped us. So the first thing is here is a customer where we really work with, where we had done prior understanding of customer. They operate in energy savings for commercial buildings. So when we met them while presenting our solution, the first thing we did is a brief about the customer, when the customer responded, and when they have operations started, and who are those customers whom they are serving and what solutions they have. Then we also shared some details on what is their current situation in terms of their sales, what is their sales team size, and what is their deal size, what is that ROI they expect from their customer, and current sales process. So these two slides really helped customer that we have really understood their business very well. And in the next slide here where we really shared to customer that what is their pain points they have, like especially that buyers needs are not clear, customers are not able to understand the buyer needs, especially the sales people, and sales quotas are missed, and there is a too early pricing discussions happening. So these are the some of the pain points they are having. And then we also explained what is that solution which they are really looking for, like what is that end result they want, which is effective in discovering buyer needs, engage sales presentation, and a structured way of account management. So this is what the buyer really wants out of this initiative. So at this stage we really ask the customer like, are they aligning with what our understanding is aligned to their needs? And our customer said absolutely, we are really aligned, and we really want to know the what is that you have in store, what kind of program you have to help us achieve this. And also we, as we said, we shared the trends which is like this. One of the trend we share generally is like this, that how the buyer purchasing is changing today. 80% of buyers are doing a lot more research, whereas just a 10-15 years back only few people were willing to do the research. So this is where which helped me set the context, like why your buyer has to be prepared for the sales presentations. So this is one of the where complex B2B sales is happening. So this will help for some of the people who are watching, who are in the B2B sales. And also there is another case study we want to show where we, for a client of us where we work, where they are meeting the schools. So in the schools, once they met, how do you relate to situations? So this is what happens after an initial meeting and understanding requirement. The salesperson will start saying that from what I have heard from you, um, you have a total. So we are relating the first situation, like how many students are there and what's the real problem, which is
performance in math and English is not good. Then we articulate the pain point. So this is making parents frustrated, not able to have good teachers. Tuitions are not, trustees are not happy, and overall school functioning is suffering due to this. And then what is that solution really the school management is looking for? So in this case, the principal was being talked, he was the prospect. So what that principal really wants is he wants to have 100% passing. And then finally we used to say, get the confirmation, is our situation understanding is correct? So yes, when principal said that yes, this is what really we want, so what is that you have, what is that solution you have? So that's where it opens up. So as we said, like relating to a buyer situation and then asking a confirmation opens up for your prospect to really listen to your solution. So how does opening a presentations like this help? As we said, sales presentation will be much more aligned to client issues than general details. Customers really feels listened and understood, especially have done a meeting earlier or even in the same meeting when you really articulate what customer has said. So he feels listened and he feels understood. And third is it increases your chance of success as 90% of competitors out there don't make this effort of make your clients feel understood and instead give a generic presentation. Whereas what is required in today's sales is a specific solutions addressing specific needs. But of course, what we generally, whenever we do this, most salespeople or even some business owners have an objections to this that, okay, I am serving similar customers, similar products, so let me directly present solution. So if my customer really doesn't like my solution, most likely he doesn't have a need. So this is the thought process many go out and start doing. And then there is a second one, which is also most people say is most buyers think that they know what solution is required. So they are insisting us to present solution first. Again, as we said, today buyers have done a lot more research. But the fact we need to remember is, though most buyers have done the research, they don't know what is the right solution. So they are projecting themselves that they know, they can evaluate, but it is our job to really help our buyers identify what's the right solution. And then third one, which is generally happens here is, yeah, most buyers say that they have very less time and insist on sharing the solution or asking the price. So the buyer is trying to control the sales. So, but what we generally say is, if you really want your buyer to listen to your solution, it can only happen when you are able to connect to their emotions. So, what is the emotions here? You must be able to articulate the problems they are facing and what is that future state they really want. When you are able to connect this very clearly and also show some trends which is happening or some insights and reference story, that's where they are ready to listen to your solution. And the second one is, as we said, it's connecting to there and it will motivate them to buy. And the real this thing is to connect to situation. What is the one thing which you must have done is you must have asked good questions or done a research on buyers during your earlier meetings. So this is what really helps you to connect to your situation better. So this ends our say video 2 learning session. So
Wonderful. So you have completed the second of the 4-part video training series on B2B sales presentations that sell. So in this video, we covered an important topic of how do you relate to buyer situation so that you can get their instant trust to listen to your solution. So what we can assure you is if you are able to implement this in your own sales presentation, you are 90% ahead of most of the professionals out there who are trying to acquire the buyers. Now in the next video, we are going to give you an important topic on how do you actually present your solution to connect to the buyer's emotional needs so that you can help him to take the action. And but right now what I want is, let us know how do you relate to your buyer situation in your own sales or business and how does it help in your sales conversions. Please scroll down and leave a comment below. And if you really like the video, and so you can go ahead and share with your friends or colleagues, and help them to see this same video. Till then, I will wait for you for the next video. Thank you.